Okay, here we go with section 3.6, the cosine law. So basically what it is that when you can't use the sine law, your next option is to use the cosine law. Simple as that. Not much else to say. Probably don't even have to write that down, but whatever. Here we go. Remember that angle A, side A, they're opposites, right? Those are those pairs that we were talking about in the sine law when we were looking at A over sine A, right? B over sine B, little c over sine C. So that being the sine law with the pairs, right? So when you have situations where you don't have pairs, one of those situations looks like this. If you have this angle, say that's 30 degrees, that's 12, and that's 10, you don't have a pair. You can't solve it, right? So we have this thing called the cosine law, and it looks like this. Okay, quickly here, we got a squared, so we use the sides first. The first bit looks like Pythagoras, right? And then it's minus 2bc cos a. The one big thing that people need to understand is that when you're solving this, moving these back and forth, these are being added, right? So they become subtraction on this side. This, however, is one big deal and one big term. So if you want to isolate bits of it, there's some division that needs to happen, okay? Before we get to some examples, look at what this looks like and think about what it might look like if you started with b squared or if you started with c squared. What might it look like, right? Well, you got A and BC, so this would be B, and then probably AB, right? Good guess. Sorry, AC. Oop, duh. AC. Anyways, there you go. Let's check it out. There you go. I'm going to stop talking because that's pointless. Let's have a look and see if we can look at some examples. Okay. So I don't think you need to know all these three. They're all basically the same. You like to rename your triangles, so you always use A. Be my guest. Just make sure you're answering the right question. Okay. Here we go. Given angle A is 35. So remember, always start with a baseline. So there we go. Angle of 35 degrees. We'll call that angle A. Now note that this is B and C, right? So B and C. That's these two sides. Your side A is over here somewhere, right? So B is the longer side. Let's make that 22, angle B, 15, angle C. There you go. Looking for side A. Now, the dealio, ladies and gentlemen, is this, that we're looking for side A. I don't have a pair. I'm using this pair, but there's no other pair given. So I need to use something else, and that's the cosine law. If you're looking for A, you start with A. And you write down the rest of the equation. Make sure you put everything in the right place. Boom. Now, A, I don't have A, so I leave it as A squared. I have B, that's 22 squared. I have C, 15 squared, 2 times 22 times 15. And I even have angle A, which is 35 degrees. Okay? And now, you just got to figure out how to plug that in on your calculator. And if you're good at your calculator, then this is a pretty easy thing to do because what you just plug the whole thing in, right? So 22 squared plus 15 squared minus 2 times 22 times 15, then times cos 35. Boom. You get a squared is equal to 168.4. And then if you want to find a, right, you square root it. So the square root of that number, boom, you get 12.97. Let's call it 13. So let's go back to our triangle here. We'll call that 13. And now once you have this side here, you can do something else, right? Notice you have a pair now. You have a side angle pair. Well, if you wanted to find B, boom, you got another pair. You'd set it up starting with sine B over side B, and then sine A, which is 35, over side A, which is 13. And then we'd use the sine law to find the rest of that. Okay? Let's look at one more question here. Oh, before I go here, notice that we didn't have this side, so This is a SAS situation, right? Side angle side situation where you don't have a pair anywhere. Pretty much always going to have to do this cosine law for it. So we think of it maybe as a Sss triangle, but well, actually that's so lame. So let's forget I said that, and we'll move on. Yeah, lame-o. Okay, so here we go. Three sides. Oh my goodness. So this is an SSS triangle. And let's have a look. So let's go 12 here. Boom, two other sides. This one looks a little shorter. That's a little longer. That's the longest. Oops, we lost the question. E is 12, so that's up here. F is 11. Other side is G, or other angle is G. What do we want to find? Well, let's pick F. Big F. Okay, what's angle F going to equal? So again, we start with what we're looking for. So let's start with F and go F squared is equal to G squared plus E squared minus 2GE, or it could be EG, it doesn't matter, cos F. So F squared, do I have F? Yes, I have it. 121. G squared, G is 10. 100 plus 12 squared is 144. 2 times 10 times 12 cos F. Now I don't have the angle, so that's what I'm looking for. Now, what it ends up being here, let's go 121, let's go minus the 100, minus the 144. That's going to give me, multiply this out, 2 times 10 is 20. This is going to be negative 240 cos F. Okay, this ends up being negative 123 here equals negative 240 cos F. At this stage, you need to remember that this whole thing, right, is one entity. So in order to get rid of the negative 240, you need to divide both sides by that. Okay, so you get cos F is negative 123 over negative 240. Okay, and then let's look how we're going to solve that. So first of all, negative 123 divided by negative 240, we have cos F equals 0.5125. I'm pretty confident that you guys remember how to find the angles from those ratios, okay? It's cos negative 1 of 0.5125, and that gives you 59.17, let's call it 59.2 degrees, okay? This is F being 59.2 degrees, okay? And as soon as you find one of the angles, again, what the deal is, you have a pair. And then we go again from another pair and another pair, and you can solve the rest of the triangle, okay? We'll look at some more questions come Monday. Hopefully some of you will have a look at this video, but any questions, again, feel free to ask. Have a good weekend.